Jake Rivers. Got a storm kicking in. For those of you, it's Tasmania calling. Nothing like a summer thunderstorm. So I thought I'd just go live because the thunder's been getting closer. But there was a massive thunderclap just before, right over my place. So here we go. Hey, cement shoes. It might already be passing over my place because right before it was straight over the house. Sunny, all her hair stood up on end. She hasn't run away and hid though. She was very brave this time. She's usually a bit of a scaredy cat. But it'd be great if we got some rain. I tried to assemble my new hose today and, well, I did assemble it because I've got some planting and stuff that I'm doing down below now. Yeah, you guys haven't probably seen, a lot of you probably haven't seen my view. I'll show it to you. So it doesn't look as close as it is, but you can see the water down there, the beach. It literally takes me, I walk 150 metres to get to the top of the sand dunes and then a couple of minutes to get down onto the beach. But it looks really far away because you guys have like a panoramic view, so it looks a long way away. But there's different views from my deck, so, and it's a shame because like where I'm standing right now, like the beach to me is just like here. For you, it's way down there. But my view's pretty awesome. And then can actually see, and again, because you're getting the panoramic version, but I can see right down to the end of the beach. Hey, Scout. Poor Sunny, we just had a massive thunderclap overhead and she normally runs away. She didn't. So, yeah, if I'm in the kitchen doing the dishes, this is my view. Like I look out over bushland. But, yeah, the beach is way closer than it looks. But you guys know that because I take you down there. You've come with me. It doesn't take me very long to get there. There's people down there having a swim. Yeah, I've got quite the view, although I wish the water was accurate for the view because it looks such a long way away. But as you guys know, when you come with me for beach walks, it is literally just down the road. And yeah, I've got thunder, but it sounds like it's rolled over. I'm bummed. I was setting it up to go live and the loudest thunderclap happened just before over my house. And Sunny's already curled up and gone to sleep because it's moved on. But I mean, there's obviously the main offenders there. A few people coming back from the beach now. But I think it's rolled over. I mean, there's rain happening over there in the distance. This is my block. I've got 3/4 of an acre, guys. So where I'm standing, my deck is like the equivalent of being on the second floor of a property, second 2 stories, but it's a single story house. It's just on stilts. Down there's my yucca. But all of these little plants are going really well. A lot of them are trees. Most of them are trees. Oh, you think he reminds me of Adam Sandler? I heard someone saying Jake Gyllenhaal. So, yeah, I've got a fair bit of land. But now my land is looking really, like the beach looks a million miles away. My block looks really small. I suppose there is a house on a huge chunk of it too. There's a little bird bath for all the native floofs. No, I don't have any huntsmen. I mean, there's huntsmen here, and huntsmen love the bush, and I've got, as you can see, lots of gum trees nearby. But I get my house fumigated by a friend of mine who uses like not toxic chemicals, like an organic thing, so it's really safe for pets too. But essentially the insects fall asleep. Like nothing upsets me more than, well, heaps of things upset me more, but people just spraying the crap out of a little spider with a full can of bug spray, Mortein, whatever, just really upsets me. But yeah, it's rolled over. I kept hearing thunderclaps and I'm going, get outside because it's going to come over shortly. And then there was this massive bang directly above my house and it's already down that way. Happy New Year, Mel Mel. How you doing? Jake Gyllenhaal, you're too old to have thought of him. He actually reminds me a bit of a guy I was at uni with who was lovely. But I'll never say my friend's name, but there's a similarity. Not really obvious, there's just a couple of things about him. Yeah, the house was a rockin', but it wasn't me. Got 3 more sleeps till I go to Singapore. See, even here where I'm standing, I can see a lot of the beach through the gum trees, but you guys get like the really panoramic view. Damn, I love a good thunderstorm. And I was hoping it was going to rain so I wouldn't have to water my plants. I was hoping nature would give them a good drink, but I'm still going to have to possibly go down there. Damn it. So I've got lots of different trees and things planted down below. Yeah, I hope we have the best time. We're going to have an amazing time. I keep thinking about it. It's going to be so bizarre. Wipe away my tears, Tony. Oh, because you can't stay long. No, Tony. You heartbreaker. How can you do this to me? Mel, I did readings for card readings last night for 2023. And at the end, I was asking people who they'd like me to do a reading for. And one of them was, well, there were a couple of people who suggested you. You were one of the suggestions. But I said I wanted to do it when you were there. Can we buy night vision goggles and do it again? Why not? We can do whatever the fuck we want. They're not cheap, though, night vision goggles. Yeah, you didn't have a penis. Maya, who was in the chat from New Zealand, she wanted to know if she had any gifts, and weirdly the card said yes, she's a shapeshifter. So then I asked, what does she shift shape into? It was a micro penis. Yeah, Cement Shoes got very upset. He didn't like the cards. We redeemed ourselves. Hey, Be Other Star. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully I can do some more before I go. I thought, I mean, another alternative too is I could do some true crime ones. No, I can't. I did think about that and then I decided no, because the cards are so inappropriate. But yeah, keep an eye out on this channel because I'll crank up the cards again. Well, I said it was tarot readings for horrible people. If you hung around tough titties. It was heaps of fun, wasn't it, Scout? Critical K got the worst ratings. So I don't know why you're all so bloody upset. Like hers was horrible. And mine came in second worst. I mean, a few of you had like flesh-eating bacteria issues, and poor old Scout is this year she's going to end up having chainsaws for hands. You know, like everyone had something a bit random happen to them, but I think some of you guys took your readings a bit seriously. About Auschwitz. Yeah, well done typing it that way because I'm sure the algorithm would pick it up. You missed the horrible people, but well, it's the game, you know. It's a game for horrible people, so it's tarot for horrible people too. You want to dig my garden? What do you mean? You know, dig some holes for me. You got to compete with the bandicoots. They're the best hole diggers in town. I'm so bummed the storm blew over. I was all excited. I'm like, thunder, na 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 na. Yeah, had to go there, Mel Mel. One of my favourite comedians, Anthony Jeselnik. He's very politically incorrect, so if you get offended, fuck off now. He has a one-liner. He said, "I used to mow the lawns at a battered women's shelter." If you know what I mean. You watch? Yeah, well, I'm sure. Well, that's why I did it, because there's so many people doing tarot on YouTube. I thought, why not? But everyone got a bit freaked out at the start when I was like, I could do an Aleister Crowley reading, and everyone's like, no, bad juju. You got hedge clippers. Well, I haven't got a hedge, so pack them away. Hey, Mel. Just because I say things occasionally on YouTube. Oh my God, don't tell Tony stuff like that. Crikey. Doesn't matter, he's more interested in my feet anyway. This is why we'll never gel. There's new people to my channel, Mel. Mel's got old growth forest. She's a bloody bushfire hazard in summer, aren't you? Down there, the ocean is producing some mighty fine waves for some kite surfers. Might see if you go flying past shortly. You retract those comments. I can't read tarot cards. I've got heaps of trees planted down there, Tony. I used to travel so much, I never bothered. And I had nephews that like kicking a footy around, and now they don't come here to kick footies around. I mean, they still come here, but I can hear thunder, but it's such a long way away. I'm so bummed, guys. I mean, I've been listening to a storm for half an hour going, go live. This will be awesome. The bloody thing's blown over. I am growing plants. I don't have snakes here. And there's a few pervs in the hood, I'm sure, but I'm up on stilts. I've got the best perv vantage out of everyone. I mean, I'm on a hill with a, house on stilts. I mean, it's like I'm in a bird box. Mel, yeah, I can't run. Dude with the coat hanger comment broke the internet. Is he talking about abortions? Well, that was an anticlimactic. I didn't deliver once again. Pissweek Productions has intervened. I was like, yep, come on, guys, come and hang out with me in a really cool summer storm. And it'll end up down at my sister's shortly, and she'll get shitloads of rain. I am going to have to now go down and water my trees. In Mel's chat years ago. Why don't I remember coat hanger person? The sky's still pretty amazing, though. I mean, at least you're getting a sky that had storm potential. I mean, that's straight above my house. Come on, break, explode, drench my place. There's no landscaping, Scout. I mean, down here I've got my it's a sloped hill with succulents and coastal daisies that are just here by nature. That tree there self-seeded and is now quite big. There's another self-seeding one right here, and then there's a little bubble one just there. But part of the contract with my place was, I think all new builds actually in Australia now, you have to plant 200 natives. But my builder, I mean, I've got out the front looks a bit landscape, but it's been done by me. But down here, this has essentially been a vacant block or just a blank block, a clean slate, because I travelled so much. My builder left a couple of tree trunks. One's got nasturtiums growing over it. But there's all kinds. I mean, I've got saltbush growing. I've got pitosterans. I've got a little hedge. You can't really see it, but there's a little hedge that's coming along really well just there. There's my yucca. That'll end being about this tall. Look, it'll be right up near me. There's olive trees at the back. They were pot-bound and sad when I rescued them. But they look like they're happy, so they're sort of coming good. That one just there is a blackwood tree. I've got over in the back on the fence, I've got kangaroo paws. They're an Australian native floral. There's that vine there is passion fruit. That's where I get all the passion. Like I get an insane amount of passion fruit from that. It's incredible. Right down in the bottom corner, I've got a Banksia, and then these two here are some kind of shrub. This one here is my pride and joy near the nasturtiums. It was near death when I rescued it, and it's covered in buds and happy. There's quite a few in the ground along the front too, but they're sort of blending in a bit. Down there, that's a native lily. And then I've got another couple of, well, you can't see, but there's actually a tree just there, and there's another one that's got a thing around it. What are the red things? Hang on. And I built baby cakes. Well, I mean, I didn't build it. I had a builder. This is the Shadow Band channel. Say whatever you want. You would water my trees? All these bloody euphemisms. Why haven't I built a slide? Good question. What are the red things? If you mean down there, the orange things, they're nasturtiums. Oh, we've done that many a time. And this is also an amazing battlefield for super soakers on hot days. No, it's not cedar. Wouldn't do cedar. Cedar's high maintenance. No, it's an Australian timber. I don't have to stain it or anything. And eventually you can see in places it'll go grey, which is why I chose grey aluminium frames, because the whole house will ultimately be grey. They said 3 to 5 years, and it's now 8 years old, and it hasn't really greyed that much. But it's an Australian timber. Everyone always asks me the name of it, and I keep forgetting. I'll have to look it up. I've been down twice already, Tony. You're very bossish today. Oh, down here, they're actually black succulents. No, it's not Jarrah. It's actually like a timber that's specifically grown for, like, it's an ethical timber. But it doesn't need to be stained or anything like that. And it's a type of pine, and it grows in Tassie. Very much like cedar that goes grey. Yeah. Oh, I know about cedar. I've got friends that live in cedar houses. There's one down in front of me, but wow, they're high maintenance. But they do go grey. Hey, why? I stopped by to hear Tori's sexy voice. Oh, hello. Well, hello there. He said he locked his key in his car and he went into an abortion clinic and asked for a coat hanger. It's all right, cement shoes. I'm no prude. Black succulents, they are quite sexy. They're just ones I've shoved down there, but I've planted some grasses. It looks better. It still looks like a fairly barren block, but I've put so much work in. If I can show you the front of the house. And it's all with hand tools. I don't have any of those, fancy things that gardening folk have. You can't really say much. These are beautiful Banksias. There's two of them. That's what I mean. My builder didn't really know what he was doing. He had to put 200 natives in, and he put two Banksias right next to the house, but that's all right. There's another yucca just there. I did the steps around there with white pebbles all by myself. You once dated a black succulent. And no complaints, I'm sure. Well, I'm glad you here. See, I was thinking I'll just crack myself a little ginger beer because I've nearly finished packing. That's how organised I am. I don't leave till Thursday. It's only Monday. Oh, Jamin, the tarot reading. Now I'm interested to see your opinion of it. A lot of people took it very seriously. I don't know how many times I said this is it for comedy purposes only. And I was using Cards Against Humanity cards. Very distressing to some folk. And Happy New Year to everyone too. For those of you that I haven't seen yet in the new year. Happy New Year. 2 days in. Oh, Sunny's just going to look after herself, Mel Mel. She's, she hasn't indicated she knows how to actually open her food packets yet, but I figure she'll work it out if she's hungry, right? I'm so excited about the holiday, yes. Yeah, we all are. My sister and my nieces, they're going to both stay here on Wednesday night as well. We're all going to head in together to the airport. Kim Animal didn't like them. She's like, I don't like the cards, but this is a good live. Oh, that's a good idea. Vending machine. Yeah, no, I've got a roster of friends that are going to be feeding her. She's got one friend doing all the morning drop-ins, which is really lovely. I mean, I was happy to pay someone just to do it because we've got a lot of people down here that will do that. They'll come and, feed your animals twice a day for $25 a day sort of thing, or $20 a day. But because I feed so many other people's animals down here, lots of people felt like they owed me a favour. So when I said I was going to Singapore, they volunteered. And I was like, hell yeah. Sunny can always call Auntie Scout. She'll probably be really shitty with me when I get back. But the afternoon roster, he actually hangs around and plays with her for like an hour and gives her a back massage and head massage and watches a bit of telly with her. And he brings a couple of beers up here with him and he just hangs out with Sunny for a couple of hours, for an hour. It's pretty cute. Oh, she'll be fine. Of course she will. Yeah. I mean, if she was like Biscuit, though, and had health issues and needed meds and stuff, I'd have to put her somewhere, like put her in a, like a cattery or at the vets or whatever. I'm going to Singapore and no. I mean, I can't because I won't be in Thailand. Cutting premeditated plan for taking care of the cat. Nursing home. Yeah, like a nursing home for old floofs. But yeah, Biscuit, I wouldn't have got anyone to look after her. I mean, someone house sat. I think my friend Laura house sat, and I think my sister did too, before she ended up on all the meds that she was on. But I wouldn't ask anyone to do that because it's pretty stressful. And especially when she died and she'd been in the emergency vet for 3 days, and the vet down here still thinks those 3 days without her meds, even though I took her meds with her, they didn't give them her meds. She reckons that was part of the problem, which makes me feel sick. Biscuit was. I mean, not just for the meds either. She was she was a total high maintenance. Oh, take a seat, everybody. Oh, this is my herb garden. I've actually got a few more to plant before I go. So I've got a chili. I've got 2 pots of mint. I've got 4 straggly strands of spearmint. I've got oregano that looks amazing in winter. I need to cut a few of these right back. I've got lots of rosemary, and sitting in the rosemary pot, I've got to plant some sage and some chives. I've got parsley that basically just gets eaten by my floofs. I've got tarragon, and I've got thyme. And up the end of my deck, I also grow some kale, which I'm never going to grow again because I was like, I've got to learn how to like this kale stuff. If I grow it myself, maybe that's the trick. Time to milk the cats. Thanks for dropping in, Tony. I might see you from Singapore's. They should have been fired. Yeah, that's the theory because when I picked her up to bring her down to the vet, there were no tablets that had come out of the packets, and I actually asked them, and they said that they don't give animals meds unless you instruct them to. And I'm like, but I handed them over to you. Yeah, milking cats must be tricky. You like my little herb garden? And then I've got down the end, I've got some pretty amazing succulents. That's Sunny's enclosure just there. And you may or may not be able to see it, but there's a Japanese maple tree that I'm reviving. My sister had it, and it was incredibly windblown and sunburnt, but it's got new foliage down the bottom. I've just been gradually trimming the top of it off to try and encourage some more growth down the bottom, and I've left a few of the... So, yeah, I've got a Japanese maple. So that's going to go down below, and that's going to be the main feature in the garden. So that's why the garden at the moment still looks like a large vacant block. Oh, no, I can't get upset about the biscuit thing again. It was awful. But, yeah, you're right, Mel. I'm total fuckwits. No, no. I mean, they've probably got some stupid clause that says owners must specifically request. Like, I wrote a list of what she needed at what time of the day and all that sort of stuff. Like, it was pretty obvious. I thought they'd still give her meds. But she was unbelievably sick. So, and they were oral. So it's possible that they weren't actually able to give them to her too. I mean, she was only meant to survive for 6 months when I rescued her, and we got 15 months out of B. So, you know. If you had all that space, what a garden you would make. Are you criticising what I've done? This is one of the main rooms of my house. This is where we all gather when I have gatherings, and I have gatherings and barbecues a lot. It's my beautiful barbecue just there. I used to have a heap more plants on the deck too, but they were all mismatched pots and they annoyed me. So my hydrangeas are really good this year. I reduced them significantly because I did end up with weight, and they were all mismatched, and it bothered me. I kind of like that I've got a bit of a theme happening now. Cats are easier to milk if you take them out to dinner first. You know cat milking, Melma. Of course you do. You're amazing. I mean, I'm still grossed out that you were picking bloody things off that lizard. Oh, my God, I just wanted to puke. The fact that you were just sitting there chatting away, holding it while you tweezed off all of its bloody... Well, they weren't maggots. What were they? Little ticks or whatever. Unbelievable. Not like you milk a cow. So you don't do the tug. You'd like a big place for all your plants. Your roof garden is crowded now. Oh, you can't put any... Oh, I gotcha. I've actually got a garden in my bathroom too. My bath, because I'm on tank water, and also it doesn't rain here very much. If I used to like the idea of running, like having a bath, or like I love the whole process of running the bath and lighting candles and putting music on. And then I'll get in it, and 5 minutes later, I'm overheating and bored. So I've got some gorgeous indoor plants like in my bath and hanging. And I've got like a Japanese washroom bathroom. So you walk past the shower screen, which is glass, into the shower, and then the bath is beyond that. So it's a proper wet room, so you can splash around. And yeah, I've got gorgeous plants in my bathroom. I've got peace lilies that are in flower at the moment. I've got Hoyas that are flowering. I've got a monstera. I've got a spider fern, which is huge and overflowing, and it's up on a stool, an elevated position in there. And I've also got what do they call it? A Swiss cheese plant. Oh, I know why you do it. I just admire you because I couldn't sit there just chatting away while I was holding a reptile. It's lovely that you're able to do that. I mean, I'm good at checking pouches of roadkill and stuff. I don't mind fluffy animals, but reptiles, I can't. I can't hold them. I can admire them from a distance, though. Yeah, plants are incredible, and I've got beautiful plants in my living room too. I've got a couple of climbing figs, or ficus. Some people call them ficus. And one's in a gorgeous thing hanging from the ceiling, and the other one is like an old. It looks almost like an old cake tin, and it's sort of flush up against the wall, and it's just hanging on the wall, and the ficus is sort of overflowing. I've got quite a few succulents inside as well. But yeah, sorry, I lured you here for a thunderstorm. You're cute. I do that for echidnas. We all stop for echidnas down here. It's very cute. Very cute. I've had so many friends visiting from interstate that I've picked up from the airport, and we've come down here and all the traffic has stopped, and they're like, what's going on? Like, you live in this sleepy coastal town. I'm like, oh, it's probably just an echidna crossing the road. But often I do actually get out and kind of alert traffic. We've got heaps of echidnas here. Echidna. Is that the plural? Now, no, it's Better Call Saul, but my God. Now they've arrested that dude for the Idaho murders. Guess what everyone's doing? The sleuths. They're sleuthing the fuck out of him, understandably, but also his family. And his family put out a statement today, and people are being incredibly critical about it. And it's like, so when you don't put out a statement, like the laundries, you're an asshole. If you do put out a statement, you're an asshole. Like, the expectations and standards that these people demand, these fucking online sleuths, this new crowd that think that they're into true crime, they're a nightmare. You know, it's so predictable. I mean, I've put another video up this afternoon on my Smooth Criminal channel. I've ended up putting podcasts back on the end of it because we've got a new subscriber over there who pointed out she'd seen me doing the Queensland killings but hadn't subscribed, and then tried to find me. And if you type Smooth Criminal into the YouTube search bar, hundreds and hundreds of videos, like, you know, different Michael Jackson versions and other people doing covers and stuff. I did say there is a filter that you can search for a channel, but the old ones are just, yeah, there's some shockers in that mix. And some of the old ones that used to stick to facts have turned into speculation, sensationalistic twats as well. Very disappointing. Not like when we were hanging out in web sleuths, Mel. Remember what happened to people if they deviated from the facts? Wasn't tolerated at all. I miss those days of just really good, thoughtful, intelligent discussions about cases with the information that we had. Which is what I'll continue to do on my channel. So all the sort of old-fashioned folks. Yeah, I heard JLR rang. I heard him. I heard the call. I don't know who I was listening to. What a fuckwit. I love it. And I chat to them when I go down later on. I chat to them when I water them and I give them a little weeding, get rid of any weeds around them and stuff. Yeah, that's true. They've all gone, oh my God, I'm not getting as many people watching as I used to because everyone's hanging out in the sensationalist channels. I mean, this is why I'm perfectly okay with Smooth Criminals staying little, because I know that the people that come in there are happy to just discuss facts and pitch different possibilities and their critical thinking, and it's way more interesting. Do I think the guy was on social media and in people's streams? Scout might be able to drop the link. The only one really at the moment that's worth sub. Well, I mean, you can sub to the Shitty Kitty Kitchen, but I'm not doing anything on there at the moment. But I will be this year. It's just all Christmas and New Year. There's no time. Pardon me. But yeah, so I've put podcast on the end of Smooth Criminal again because it was a podcast, and that channel was where I uploaded episodes for people that weren't podcast listeners who could listen to my podcast on YouTube. But I went in. Oh, thank you, Mel. I went in. So this new subscriber mentioned about how hard it was to find me. So I've put podcast back on the end of it. But I went into a couple of chats with podcasts and made a comment that someone didn't like, and she was like, oh, look at you, snarky and also promoting your podcast. And then I kind of thought, oh, fuck, there's that whole thing on YouTube about promoting your channel. Well, there's really great channels on YouTube that do lives just letting people promote their channels. If there's a channel that doesn't let other channels be mentioned and stuff like that, I don't want to be in there. Like, there's room for all of us, and why not help other people out? When I first came to YouTube, there used to be, someone would be getting close to, say, 500 subs, and they'd do a live to get that person to 500. Like, people helped each other grow their channels. So, yeah, I've put podcasts back on it because, fuck it, that's what it was, and it still is. I will be doing another season of that podcast as well. And fuck the people that say, oh, you're promoting your channel. It's like, go fuck yourself. I haven't said a word. Like, I don't go in there and go, everyone subscribe to my channel. But if it means it's easier to find me because there's so many Smooth Criminal things on YouTube, well, fuck yous. So the social media comment, yeah, look, I think he, to be honest, I think his arrest and the trial and everything were all part of his plan. I don't think the murders were the only component to this. And look, this is all, he's still innocent until proven guilty, but if he's the dude and he goes down for it, I wouldn't be surprised if he's factored in every element of it, including being arrested, the trial, because I don't think he's going to plead. I think he'll plead not guilty because he wants the trial. So the social media thing, I wouldn't be surprised if he had. However, the one that was on T-Rev, I've always called him T-Rev, but he says Trev. But anyway, so him, the guy that also does Spirit Box, it's so weird. Like, and also he zones out when he's got callers, which really annoys me. It's like, pay attention. But that call that's being played left, right and centre, I don't think it's Brian at all. I think it was someone that just wasn't very good at explaining what they were trying to say. The only thing that made me think it might be Brian is that the number that he used, like, he hasn't called back to say, g'day, it's Dave. So the fact that he's sort of disappeared. But when Trev called the number back, his answering machine said David Morris. And if you Google David Morris, he was a serial killer in the 60s. And I've said all along, I felt there was a definite, sort of copycat serial killer vibe coming off this dude, whoever did it, the perpetrator. So the fact that the name on his message bank is David Morris, and yeah, David Morris was a serial killer, that's kind of interesting. But he was talking about people that he, allegedly worked with a decade ago, and I don't know. But there's so many different callers and everyone's rummaging back through and playing stuff. And then there's the Reddit post. And then there was the guy that did all the detailed stuff of the murders and people zooming in on his photo. And, oh, look, it's got the same nose. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I mean, it's pretty common these days for killers to do that sort of shit. But, I mean, there was a guy in 4chan who wrote a really graphic essay weeks ago about the murders, and then at the end said, "You'll never find me, I'm hiding in Pennsylvania." That one might have been him, because he was hiding in PA. Thanks for sorting out all the links, Groovers. But yeah, I can't say 100%. I mean, the only thing, like I said, with that Trev phone call that was pretty interesting is that when he called the number, it was David Morris. And my little hinky meter went, oh, another serial killer. Because I can't think of the guy who said it. Oh, shit. Who was the murderer when he was arrested who said, has anyone else been arrested? Like, that's a direct quote of a serial killer as well. Was it the... is it the green... what was... Oh, fuck, now I've gone completely blank. Not Green River. What was it? The Green... Help me. What was Idaho? Was it the Green River Killer? Anyway, if you Google that sentence, it'll come up with who said it. But when they got caught, was it the Garden State Killer? I'm getting G. I don't know which one it was. He just said that. That's what I'm talking about. But it's a quote of a serial killer when they got caught. That is what they said. Like, he has quoted another serial killer. I know Koberger said it, but if you type it into Google, another serial killer long before him. I mean, he's studied serial killers, no doubt about it. I said it driving over the causeway. It's got the Ted Bundys and the Danny Rawlings all over it. But yeah, when he was arrested and allegedly said, and I think it was Brian Enton who said that he said that, and Brian seems to have better sources than anyone on YouTube. Ah, thank you. It is the Green River Killer. Oh, wait. Well, I mean, okay, so I've got Red Green River. It was either, I don't know if the Golden State Killer said it. But yeah, if you Google that sentence, has anyone else been arrested, or whatever the exact words were, it was said by another serial killer when they were arrested. And then there's the David Morris, there's all these little serial killer references that are popping up. So yeah, I think he wanted to be a serial killer too. I think he started studying them, and there was a little thing in his brain that was a bit twisted, and his study, which he was obviously very into, switched to a desire to actually become one as well, and that's what he did. No, but but that's what I'm saying. It's pretty interesting, don't you reckon? I don't know why anyone else, I don't think any other creators are talking about it, but it was like, I know someone said that. It's weird. I also know like what people said when they were about to be executed. I think I did an episode on Smooth Criminal about that. Well, he's not giving hints because he said that when he was arrested. And if the phone caller, the one in particular where he says he's Dave from Utah, when T-Rev called that number back, his answering machine said, "You've called David Morris. Sorry, I can't take your call right now." But I mean, I think with all of those phone calls, it's going to be voice recognition that will determine whether or not, according to people who know him, and again, this is all just, shit that I've been hearing as I've been packing. People who know him say that that particular caller to T-Rev, wasn't his voice. And I just think that the guy he sounds to me like he was stoned or something, because he just couldn't get his words together and explain what he was trying to say. And then on top of that, Trev, he was going down a really weird road with him as well, and didn't understand that fraternities are all over the country. They're not just in one place. And also at the end sort of said to him, you're inconsistent. You said at the start you worked with 6 people and now you're saying 10. But if you actually listen to the call, Dave from Utah says 10, and then T-Rev a little bit into the interview says, you worked with 5 or 6 people. Was it Gacy who said it? Yes, Gacy it was. I think it was John Wayne Gacy who said it. You're right. There, see, I told you I was getting a G. that it is a quote he may have cited is interesting, because Ellie said they were sure from day one it was not the students themselves that were targeted, this suggesting he left messages at the crime scene. Yeah, and I never thought it was a student. Gazman Melb, hello. You didn't miss me. I'm here. I mean, I'm about to go. Well, I'm just seeing if the storm does a U-turn and comes back. We had some brilliant thunder happening and then it just stopped. It is actually starting to get a bit cold now too. That afternoon breeze. Yeah, voice recognition and GPS and so on. But yeah, look, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't, watching social media, because we've already had other killers that have done that. And yeah, I think the whole thing, it's not just the murders themselves, it's committing the crime, getting caught, going to trial, the whole thing. And I kept going back to sloppy too, like, that was one of the words used to describe the perpetrator really early on when it was being reported. I wouldn't be surprised if he wrote something on the wall in blood or something like that too. I think he just fantasized about becoming a serial killer, and the car was really important in it, yeah, Mamel. The car and DNA. DNA. I'm hoping it's DNA from one of the victim's fingernails, not just DNA in the house, because you'll be like, hey, it was a party house. I went to a party there one time and none of the people who lived there were even there, because we've seen video of that. Oh, thanks for doing the unsub and resub. That's really sweet of you, Scout. Yeah, exactly, Mel. Yep. I mean, I became a lawyer because all my friends at uni were massive pot smokers, and I thought I'll become a lawyer so I can defend them all if they ever get caught. But, I mean, I'm not going to be going live doing the Idaho murders now. I mean, there's a court hearing on the 3rd. I'll definitely see what happens there. Pardon me. And the probable cause affidavit will come out, which people are already expecting it to be like the discovery in the Chris Watts case. It's not. It's going to be the probable cause affidavit. Don't know if he was back using or not. That's pretty awful, though, isn't it? Like having a heroin addiction when you're in high school. Holy shit. Oh, there's good and bad in every profession. There's some brilliant psychologists out there, and there's some absolute shockers too. They have a very high suicide rate as well. If you look at professions with high suicide rates, lawyers isn't great either. I've been seeing a ton of new missing teens show up in your feed. Yeah, they're not picked. No, they're not. And good on all the small channels that are covering those sorts of things and cold cases. And that's where you'll find me now. That's where I hang out. I mean, we don't need to open up YouTube and there's 83 notifications and they're all talking about Brian, because it's just, I mean, I get it. They're the sharks, they're hungry and information's coming out. Go for it. At the end of the day, I'm interested in the trial. Yeah, I wonder if it'll be televised too. Be interesting, won't it? Oh, it just got a little bit of rain spitting on me, but I want the thunder to come back. There was thunder right at the start of my live, so it wasn't a total typical Tory piss week world, promise something and deliver nothing. Yeah, and that's why we need to start promoting them and, you know, adding them to our featured channels on our pages and talk about them. And I mean, that's another reason why I'm sort of fatigued by the Idaho murders, because it's the same channels that just get mentioned over and over again. And there's other channels doing some really good stuff out there too, and they need the attention. I mean, you look at how massive channels become when they're covering cases like this one, like the high profile cases. It's a win-win. But yeah, we'll certainly be looking into the trial component. But if it's televised, holy shit. I hope they don't allow YouTubers to join Zoom type sessions and unmute their microphones. Can you imagine, like JLR or somebody like that just ending up, you know, the whole trial gets aborted because of some little fuckwit like him? Or Bullhorn Betty, you know, like, I doubt that they'd let that happen ever again. I think the online sleuths and sensationalistic YouTube channels have been heavily underestimated by the justice system, all levels of it, from cops right through to the courts. And I think we'll be seeing quite a few changes. I hope so. Yeah, and I predicted what I predicted. I said that in one of my lives, a couple of them, and also one of my videos, and I had people going, freedom of speech. I said, what's that got to do with how much information you guys are given? In fact, there's a second video I've nearly finished, which is Chief Fry talking about why they don't give out so much information and how they were being contacted constantly by social media users demanding more information. And he's like, well, it's a simple concept, which we talk about over and over and over again on Smooth Criminal, which is you want to get a conviction. And it will kill it. And the other thing is too, is that the people that say the most inflammatory stuff that is likely to lead to trials being aborted, and that scream freedom of speech, they don't actually understand there are restrictions to it. Like that TikToker who's being sued for defamation. You can't say whatever the fuck you want. And if you really look at the history of freedom of speech in America, it's all about the government as well. And I imagine if they did invade the courtroom on Zoom. Wouldn't that just be a nightmare? Absolute nightmare. Well, I'm going to call my cat sitter. I'm trying to hook the two of them up so they kind of know each other and can call on each other for help if they need it. Sorry there wasn't much thunder. The best happened before I hit the go live button. But it's also getting a bit brisk out here and I'm in a tank top and short skirt. I need to put some layers on. It's the 4 o'clock shift. The sea breeze swings around. They don't listen though, Joman. They don't listen. They don't, and they're hungry and they don't care. They feel entitled to it. You know, God forbid any of them ever have a family member murdered and then the trial gets aborted or the key witnesses get struck because YouTubers have interviewed them and meddled with proceedings and that person, that perpetrator walks free and kills somebody else. You need a nap again? Yeah, I've got to work out what I'm going to cook for dinner. You know when you're about to go away and you're like, it's freezer surprise. What can we eat? I was actually meant to go and get some salad greens to have with something for dinner, but I've got plenty of veggies in the freezer. I have to work out what I'm going to be. It's good though. I'm cleaning out my freezer. There'll be plenty of room for more cooking when I get back. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. I may go live again later. I still want to do Mel's tarot for 2023. It was lots of fun. Lots of fun for everyone. I might even do it like tomorrow, early afternoon. Just so some of the people that were sound asleep when I did it last night, if they want their cards read. Oh, but you are. Children, rules, laws don't apply to them. You're talking about like freedom of speech? You might get a penis too. You never know. Actually, there was someone else who was going to get a bit of penis action. I can't remember who it was. Oh, that was Cement Shoes. Wanting to know about romance for the year. And I think it was Cement Shoes. The card said he was going to be having a lot of dick. Having a penis. But it might have just been a statement. Look, who knows? Oh, it's cold. That wind. It's brisk. So, yes, the thunder came and went. Good to see you all. Thanks for hanging out with me and for analysing my garden, my view, my... At least I don't have metre-high grass, right? Yeah, Cement was very upset that it wasn't a serious Aleister Crowley reading, so maybe you can deliver. I will see you all very soon. Stay groovy, everyone. I'm going to feed my floof shortly and work out what I'm going to eat too. And yes, thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this channel out of the comedy cul-de-sac, the algorithm cul-de-sac it's wedged in. Honestly, I'll squeal with excitement if I wake up one day and I've got one new subscriber because my sub count hasn't changed in... Well, I did get 40 new subscribers last year, but it hasn't budged since, I don't know, August? So, yes, take care, everyone. Stay groovy. And I'll see you all again very soon. Much love. Farewell.